Newbie is our back or time again. And subs up, everyone. Today, you can already probably read it in the title. But honestly, let me show you what I got first, okay? So, this is my game, I guess. As you can see, not very much. But that's okay, because we are gonna make this thing hopefully something in the next couple of days, months, years. But what is this even? Well, I mean, to be honest, I'm just kind of learning this, I'm learning game dev based on this project, okay? So I'm really more doing this to get like more comfortable with like the workflow, you know, making 3D assets, learning Unreal Engine or whatever the hell. I want this to be my very first big project, okay? That I'm like actually gonna spend time to. And it's about a Durgan. A Durgan! A Durgan! This Durgan here, okay? I modeled him myself, animated myself. The animations are not good, okay? I'm not an animator. This was my very first try to animate. I mean, it is what it is, okay? It is what it is. But that's the thing, right? During the next couple of days, I'm gonna be streaming daily, okay? During the next couple of days, months, or really whatever, I will actually be gonna try to improve on what I have, okay? And yeah, kind of make my own thing. So, and by the way, on the end of each day, stream, whatever, we're gonna set us a goal for the next stream, which is on the next day, okay? So, yeah, let's see what we've got. Well, let me show you what I've got. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff already going on the screen. So, let me try to explain what you can see first, okay? So, obviously those slots, yeah, those slots in the bottom, right, this is gonna be your abilities. This is gonna be like a sort of dungeon crawler, right? That like has some elements of RPG, you know, like kind of leveling and, you know, having abilities and stuff. Yeah, that's the like main focus. So what you guys can see on the bottom right are my 4 ability slots, and that they have abilities. And yeah, you can cast them by pressing buttons. Nothing really happens, right? This is in a very early stage, which makes it even more exciting to actually work on this project, right? Right on top of that, this thing here, those are my relic slots. So abilities are always going to be something that you cast, that are active, okay? Something like a peel or cone of cold or whatever the hell, right? So this is always something you cast, and the relics are more of like passive things. Now, this dragon here, I mean, he has some animations. They are not good. Okay, this was actually my very first time ever animating. Ever. By the way, there is nothing. There is no way that people animate in Blender. Like, ever since Blender 4.3 or something like that, They changed something with the animation system. Ain't no one's doing that, right? Like, that just seems so, it just seems so overly complicated. Like, I've been in game development, I guess, a little bit longer in terms of like doing Minecraft stuff and whatever the tools have to offer there. It is uncomparable to like what Blender wants me to do, and not exactly in a positive way. Those action slot thingy, man, like from what I've heard, I'm not the only one that like doesn't understand it. It really seems to be like this very useless addition that no one really asked for. Anyways, enough of the complaining. This was my first time animating. It is what it is. Okay, we have a guy that can walk. The jump is very horrible because I did not know that, you know, or like rather, I didn't realize that the jump has to be instantaneous. You know, you press the button and you instantly jump. It sounds obvious, right? But obviously you have to design the animations in a way that makes sense. I didn't. I like actually tried to make it look like he would like, you know, kind of charge up the jump, but which is not what's happening in games. Maybe in real life, but not in games. The reason why it kind of looks, yeah, the reason that you cannot really see any of those elements anymore is because I just sped up the animation to like compensate for that. We're not gonna use those animations. I learned from my mistakes. We're gonna, one day we're gonna redo them, all of them, okay? Yeah, so what can our character actually do, or rather, what can't he do, right? But first of all, what can he do? So first of all, when you just, obviously you have the abilities, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the relic slots. Also works with controller, by the way, really great. On top left, it's the health bar. It's just a placeholder, okay? I have like a very simple vision on how the UI is supposed to look like, but nothing too concrete, okay? So you have a character, we can punch, or like not punch, but like this is a kind of box trace. Oh, this is the wireframe. Yeah, so we can crawl or deal damage in a small area with this sphere trace, you know, hitting every enemy in that is inside and dealing a little bit of damage. But here's the cool thing, okay? We can actually aim, and when we aim, we obviously camera, right? As you guys can see, that's the icon for the bottom part, right? It's showing whether or not your thingy is up or not. So when I actually aim, it switches, and and if I now try to shoot, it shoots a fireball. Crazy, right? So, what does this boss fight look like? Well, glad you asked. There isn't much. We're gonna work on the boss fight. Like, probably the next couple of days as well, but today I have something different in mind. So we have those candles, okay, with this the texture of a noise. It's really just a placeholder texture right now, which also like fades away when you go away. It actually dithers away for like the performance, because I do want this to run on at least Android platform, right? Or at least on your mobile phone. So I want this to be quite low poly, but like also like I want a good middle ground between not looking like shit and yeah. Fallen Cosmo, beep boop. Welcome to the stream. So, yeah. That's what that is. And this is just, like, this is supposed to be like an indicator for when you can interact with something. I cannot. Can I request a song? You can request a song, indeed. Just has to be, no copyright, I guess, because, yeah. Just yeah. So yeah, this is more like an indicator whether or not yeah, I can hit something. So as you guys can see, It's not actually this hit we need, but rather we need to lily pad. Sure, we're gonna go into Subnautica lily pad. There we go. 2 hours endless loop. Oh, seamless loop. I swear to God, this song carried me through everything. Anyways, so we can interact with this somehow, right? But not with our regular attack. No, we actually need to shoot it with our fireball. And then it lights up. Oh my God, it lights up. Crazy, right? So what could possibly happen when you light all of them up? Right? So let's just light all of them up. And this Hydra type of thing spawns. You guys can see we can damage it? Why can't we damage it? That's a bug. we should not be able to damage it. Okay. That is obviously wrong. Let's fix that real quick. This guy should not be damageable. I swear to God I tested it. It is what it is. So fight Hydra. There are 4 phases. But okay, so why can you get damaged? Can be damaged is default true. Should be default false. I don't know why. I swear to God, it automatically changed. I don't know why this would ever look like that. Anyways, let's actually light the candles up, right? And there we go. And now we shouldn't be able to damage him. There we go. As you guys can see, there's a very temporary shield looking thing, and oh my God, I'm already getting attacked by those I call them living hydro bombs, okay? They will literally just chase you around, and when you get too close to them, they will explode. Wow. And when you like actually stand too close to them, they actually do fancy shit to you, okay? So, you cannot die right now, because obviously that's bad for testing. But yeah, so when you defeat like 5 of them, right? A special thing in the middle part here spawns, right? And when you hit this thing, bam! It's going there and removing the shield. And now you can actually damage this thing. Crazy, right? And now a sort of chase phase begins, where this kind of thingy... By the way, you're supposed to be swimming, okay? Just I'm not floating, I'm swimming. This is supposed to be an underwater type of dungeon. So yeah, this thing kind of chases you. I've recently made this speed boost kind of thingy. But yeah, so this thing chases you, and yeah, when you get caught, you're dead. I wanna make it so that, like, I guess your camera kind of so that you don't control the camera, but rather the camera follows along this line. And yeah, so you just run. Obviously, the speed of the thing will be changed, and obviously, you don't just swim. Okay, you will have to do stuff like, for example, grasp for breath, or like grasp for air, or something like that, right? Or like dodge fish swarms, or we can really go really out there, okay? But yeah, that is that phase. That is the second phase. You don't actually get to kill the second Hydra. As you guys can see, after we killed the second, after we surpassed the second point, we're now on the third phase. This will be like sort of puzzle room, I guess. As you guys can see, we cannot damage the thing. I think this room is too big for what it is right now, okay? But yeah, we cannot damage it right now, and we have to complete puzzles to be able to, well, damage it. This is, yeah, the puzzles. Again, you have the candles, and you have to light all of them. But when you light one, the other ones around it are also gonna get lighted up. I don't even know. So meaning, if I want to light this one up, which seems to be the most intuitive, this one actually, yeah, loses its thing again. So what we have to do to light all of them up, right, is probably to do this and then this. It's really easy, but it's supposed to be kind of fast-paced, okay? So all of this is supposed to be fast-paced. Since this game is going to be primarily about grinding dungeons, I want them to be quite repeatable in a manner, right? So, and after you've completed all the puzzles, sadly I only have this puzzle, you actually get to damage this thing. By the way, during all that time you will probably race against like water or like something to keep you busy while, you know, while doing this. But that's obviously not what we're doing today. So then you actually get to kill it. Maybe on a different in a different way, just like the first one, but I don't know. But yeah, you get to kill it, and this would be like the final fight. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. Maybe like a big fight with like where this thing has a lot of abilities and shit, and you have to actually fight, you know. Essentially just proving your strength, proving your worth. But yeah, right now you can just kill it and, you know, that's it. This is the very first boss fight that I have in mind. When we have this like completely done, meaning texturing and modeling and like all the mechanics, this will be like the very first demo we will have. Hopefully we'll get like some kind of like publicity with it, so we can you know, work on the other bosses and then to finally release the game. I'm also not shy of making investments, I guess, but for now I just want to focus on like the main thing before actually, yeah, doing anything major. So, as you guys can probably read it from the title, whoa, what does that mean? Okay, Twitch is telling me my stream bitrate is too high? That's a new one. Normally you have problems of stream bitrates being too low. You never have that problem with it being too high. But sure, I guess. Yeah, it actually is quite high. It actually is quite high. Okay, maybe Twitch will like that better. Anyways, I think you can play a little bit louder music, right? So we're trying to make it so that you actually get a crosshair while aiming, because right now you can't really see anything and you kind of just have to eyeball where everything goes. That's not ideal. So let's change that. I have this UI thingy here. This is the player screen. What I'm doing is I have all of my panels in one big one and then just hide or show depending on conditions. What is this? Health bar? Okay, sure. The reason why I'm doing that is because I do prefer keeping stuff in memory and not having to load them in, because to be quite frankly, I think the loading is what most of the time kills game performance. I think I mean, it's kind of ironic because of the current memory shortage, but like it's like people underestimate like what you on which areas you have to optimize, or rather they misjudge, at least in my opinion. I think just keeping them always in memory will on long term be better than just, you know, actually creating and destroying them dynamically. You know, that just creates very fun things with the garbage collector, and you might get like stutters, which we don't like. So let's not do that. So, widget blueprint. A widget blueprint is something that we can use to add something to our screen. crosshair. Now, obviously, we're gonna need a crosshair texture. First of all, canvas panel, just something we can have. It's just something so we can orient with, okay, and then we can just drag in an image. Now that image will be placed here, but we actually want this to be in the center. And now when we reset all the positions to 0, then as we can see it is aligned to the center but with the top left corner. Fix that, we just set the alignment 0.5 in both X and Y, and this will perfectly center the image. There we go. So now it's all about how big we want to have the texture. I think 32 by 32 is fine. And now, when we actually add the crosshair to our player screen, there we go. We also have to stretch it out over the whole thing, right? So now we should have a crosshair. We do have a crosshair. That is... is it accurate, by the way? It is not. Well, we'll worry about that later, to be honest. As you guys can see, the projectile has like a weird drift to it, right? What we could do is... I do have an idea on how we can fix it, right? But first of all, I don't want the game to be overwhelming, okay? I want it to be I don't want there to be like any unnecessary information to be present on my screen. What I'm saying is I want to hide the crosshair when I'm not in the aiming mode, okay? So, I don't think we can access the input actions from the player, right? When we get owner or opening player, and then we cast to player. It's a player controller. We don't want a player controller. Get backdoor? Oh, it's not owner. Let's just see in the widget. I always forget that, man. Widget. Wait, that's a get pair again, only player. But that gets the player controller. We don't want the player controller. Or can we access the input actions from the player controller? I don't think so. So I actually have some of my logic here. Get owning player pawn. Oh, look at that, how lovely. I'm getting the pawn just to get the controller. Yeah, but that really doesn't matter. So get owning player pawn, which will return us a pawn object reference. And we can cast this to our player. And now since we have our player, we can actually query stuff from it. I don't think we can input... Yeah. I don't think we can get the input directly from here. What we can do is to create a variable on the player, and then based on that, you know, based on the variable on the player. But I'm seeing if I can do it without a variable. Maybe it is the controller that offers this information. Okay, controller, cast to player controller. So, what does this one have? Does this have anything to relate to input? enhanced input. I mean, yeah, this is essentially the... Yeah, I'm using enhanced input system, but no. Okay, so let's just create a variable on the player for that. We already have a variable for that. It's called isAiming, and it's even public. This is very convenient, because it means we're already using it somewhere. We can literally get isAiming. Now, we could obviously execute this in tick, right? But like ideally we wanna see if this thing like changes and makes something based on that. We cannot just run it every time we construct something, am I right? So ideally we would have like an event that we subscribe to for whenever we do that kind of stuff. I could create a custom event dispatcher inside the player and subscribe to it. But like, what I'm wondering is if we can't we just use or like subscribe to the event, like the input event directly inside of the client blueprint. Obviously combat graph, am I right? IAA, yes. I cannot just copy this over, right? This will just create a... Or can I? I thought this was gonna create an event dispatcher. There we go. What is this? Enhanced input in widget. Let's just Google that, okay? UE5 enhanced input in widget. So what does this mean? So impose widget. Reports for pause. Better changes color. Hey, that's exactly what I said a while ago. Works on UI if it has focus only. Common UI? I don't want no common UI. See, that's the horrible thing about Unreal Engine. The documentation is really bad. And I don't want common UI. It literally tells us what to do, right? I mean, well, but it let us compile. It works. What? It just gave us an error. Why does it work? Huh? I didn't even change anything. Well, I'm gonna just take it as it is. Okay, I'm not gonna question it. I'm gonna go to the designer, make this as a spirit. No, what? Now let me guess, when I compile now it's gonna give me the error again? Guys, I know for a fact that's gonna break, and it's just a matter of time. It is just a matter of time. So I wanna... There's a better way to set the widget's visibility, right? I swear I swear there's a better way. Well, it really doesn't matter. Set visibility, it will do the trick. So when we started, we're doing this. If it's complete, we do it like that. And on construction, we set the visibility to him as well. Like, just like that. See? What the hell? Wait a minute. Okay, I cannot save, but I can compile and play. Okay, but it's literally not... it's literally not working. Don't tell me it's because I have the player controller inside of here, or like the player, because I'm getting the player pawn from the server. That does not make any sense, I know, but like, just believe me on that. Like, if I put this into pre-construct, will this kind of hydrate this component? No. But it neither did it error out. See, I'm saving. Is it? That is so weird. So, oh, okay, I think I know what's happening here. This will cause the blueprint to be always loaded. I think this needs to happen, or like rather this blueprint needs to be loaded for this event to fire. Does that make sense? I think that's what's happening here. So my question is, why doesn't it do anything? It did trigger it. It just didn't change the visibility of the thing. Like, I know it's kind of hard to see, but like, watch this. It triggered it. So tell me, why aren't you go? Oh, this isn't connected to anything. So why is it hidden to begin with? Or maybe because it hit the parent, because when this was not connected, it set self to hidden. There we go. Now, okay, I swear to God, this music is giving me schizophrenia. I love it, but it's giving me schizophrenia. Let's go into World of Warcraft ambience. Dude, I love World of Warcraft. I'm definitely gonna like have a few elements from there in here. So, I want this to not just appear and disappear, because that's kind of harsh, am I right? So ideally, I wanna fade this in and out. So what we can do is to create an animation. We could theoretically play with the opacity itself, but I don't want to do like imagine we're gonna add like more stuff to the crosshair. I'm thinking if this is a smart idea or not. Do we create an animation or do we just play with the opacity itself. Meanwhile, I'm gonna drink a bit. Okay, chat, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Create an animation or animate, or create an animation, or rather handle the opacity on our own? Because I think there's a thing called timeline. Well, it's not available here. We're gonna do animations. We are gonna do animations. I just decided we're gonna do animations. Meaning that, so first of all, how much do we want this to be? Can we set like a rendering method? Like, can we make this additive instead of just render the opacity? At least not the way I see it right now. Okay, so let's keep this value at like 80%. I mean, it's kind of rough to see, right? We would have to see it in game. You're telling me that's no, guys, that's like troll. That is like complete troll. That is like complete troll. Where is it? There is it. 0.5. Oh, I don't think it likes me compiling the blueprint, and yeah, see, this is like more what I want. It's like a very subtle but noticeable thing, okay? Obviously, we're gonna make a texture for it. Oh. We're gonna make a texture for it. A very quick one. But, animations. Add animation. We're gonna call it fade, or something like that. And then we will animate. I usually like to dock this into our layout, like this. And then... Sadly, this thing is kind of in the way. Luckily, we can just zoom in. So where is it? Render best. Create a keyframe. And then within a quarter of a second, another keyframe. So this is gonna be the fade in, meaning on this keyframe, it is supposed to be, there we go, completely invisible. And when we play this, oh my god, crazy, right? Now this is linear, I think. It's not, but is there anything we can do to make it more pop? Like to make it pop in? Like change like the keyframe type. There's a graffiti. Whoa, 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 what the hell is this? Yeah, see, it wasn't linear, but it's also not... Well, what is this? I have never seen this. Can I like... Probably when I go into here. No. Quite intuitive. Drag to blend values. It's like a whole editor for blending, I guess. I don't need that. I just wanna explore the different keyframe types. Although I think it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I mean, look at it. It's animating, okay? So for this element, just play animation. animation. Play animation forward. Wait, can we just play animation? Yeah, because we can actually select the play mode inside of here. Good. So, instead of setting the visibility, oh, also we need to get fade, which is our animation. I'm gonna drag this into here. There we go. And now this image belongs... Why not? Oh, I guess it's... No, this is correct. We don't need a reference on this because this is actually playing from our main widget. Now, obviously, this doesn't need to be. The default state, okay, this is very important. When we don't have an animation, we actually want this to be hidden. Meaning we also have to have this hidden. But that's kind of weird to debug, right? Meaning, what I want to do is I actually want this value to be set dynamic. Set render opacity alpha. Oh wait, this is the fade animation. Set render opacity. There we go. 0. So we can edit with the full opacity being up. And yeah. So, started. We play it forward. And this one we're gonna play it backwards. When it's completed. When the action is completed. Now obviously we need to reference the animation. And there we go. There we go. So, I'm sorry. I know I'm being picky, but like, there we go. That's good. So now it should animate with great performance because this is not based off tick, but rather events. Oh no. Bro, do I look like a old grandma? This is like slow as hell. Man. Like this needs to be... Huh? How does this make sense? Well, where's my timeline? Show me my time. Why can't I? Hello? What? Oh, okay. Yeah, this needs to be way shorter. Oh, I said way shorter. There we go. Now. Yeah. That's it, am I right? So, how do we want to design our crosshair? Like, what is it supposed to look like? Crosshair. Okay, no, this is... No. I want some reference from games, you know? In games? Come on. reference. Guys, what games do have nice crosshairs? What kind of AI is this? Dude, I'm looking for a reference. What could you possibly tell me? A crosshair in video games, blah blah blah. Reference on crosshair in game? No! I want like actual reference. Okay, this is Counter-Strike, very old Counter-Strike. It's like, okay, it's always like an actual X. Something like that, right? Nice crosshair. Now this is not a shooter. This looks like Unreal Engine because it is Unreal Engine. It is Unreal Engine. I do wonder if we can make our crosshair a little bit more unique though. But for now, I'm just gonna make, I think, a very simple one. Just for testing purposes. So we probably want like 8x8, am I right? So we have, oh no, I think 8x8 is kind of grief because then we don't have a center. I think 6x6 is all we need. 7. Yep, math. We need 7x7. And then we can like kind of just... What is this? Oh my god, I'm feeling like a Minecraft PvPer right now. No, those crosshairs are diabolical. I just want something, okay? I just want something. I really just want something that's not the box. We can obviously change it later. Right? We can obviously change it later. So let me import the file first. So I just saved it to the desktop. So now I'm probably gonna be on the less popular side of regarding that, but I usually like to have my assets in relation to another. Meaning, even though this is the UI folder, I'm still gonna have the crosshair in here because it's part of the UI, if that makes sense. Also, if your Unreal Engine texture, which is like very pixel, or like if your your texture, which is like pixel art or something like that, ever looks really pixelated on Unreal Engine. Okay, like we can make a short out of this, I bet you. So also, if your texture ever looks like very blurry like this, it's probably because the resolution is like very small. To fix that, all you really need to do is to right click and then sprite actions, apply paper to these settings, and now it's crispy sharp. And obviously you can also do this manually by mainly changing this setting here, texture group, to something that doesn't filter out. For example, this, what was it, 2D pixels. See, and now it's crisp. But I usually recommend using this sprite actions thing here. It's enabled by default, so yeah. Okay guys, we farmed a short, I think. So now we can actually go into the crosshair, into the image, and now we can select our crosshair. Please just don't look like shit. What the hell did I... What is this texture? Whoa, 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 whoa. What the hell did I do? Guys, it's getting late, okay? It is absolutely getting late. Luckily we can just re-import the texture. And all good. But now the short looks off. Okay, let's undo the settings. We're gonna clip farm again. In Unreal Engine, when your low resolution texture looks blurry like this, then you probably need to change a few settings to make it less blurry, or not blurry at all. What am I saying, man? In Unreal Engine, whenever you import a low resolution texture, you can see that it's getting blurred out quite a lot. And to fix that, you just right click it, sprite actions, and apply Paper 2D texture settings. Now, Paper 2D is a plugin which is enabled by default, but we can also do this manually by just changing the texture group to something that doesn't, well, filter the image. For example, the, what was it, 2D pixels unfiltered. As you guys can see, the texture is back to being crispy, sharp again. I do wonder if the background music's gonna interfere. But we'll be able to. It's something. Doesn't look like much. I do think the opacity doesn't like reflect what it's actually. Because now I think it's too low actually. So let's increase it to like 0.8. Yeah. Now, it is kind of weird that it's like not firing from like your, or like not targeting your mouse cursor, am I right? As you guys can see, it's like somewhat offset. Now this fix is kind of more complicated. That would require us shooting to shoot a ray from our camera to this object and then applying the velocity based on that. Well, I do think, however, that this is an issue for not now, okay? Just having it is a massive step into the right direction. I do believe. So I'm actually gonna... This is like kind of my to-do list, Discord. I'm actually gonna mark this as completed. There we go. So now I wanna set myself a new goal. I wanna do this every day, okay? So what I would love to do the next time we stream is I want should we implement another enemy for the boss fight here? For like the first phase? Or like maybe even a particle trail for like a few VFX for the shield breaker. I think that like makes it so we can attack this one. That's one thing. Right. Also the camera inside of this is gonna need to be overhauled anyways. So I'm not gonna align the projectile with the camera just yet. I think that is pretty fair. Okay, so I have two things I wanna do. So first of all, this is my to-do list. Shield breaker visuals. Then we can also try to model the living hydro bomb. We can integrate oxygen system of water, because we do have oxygen, it's just not visible. What else could we possibly do? Like, I want to make a few things more. I mean, I do have a few visual things, but like, I'm not a visual guy, okay? I don't do visuals. I am really bad at doing visuals. So, if we have something that is also, or like that's also related to programming, then that would be great. Okay, I know what. We could also make it so that the chase Hydra matches speed. This is a very easy thing to do. Meaning, let's just defeat the thing, okay? Just so I can. Just so I can. There we go. Yeah, so right now this thing has a constant speed, okay? But that's quite boring, because, I mean, if we get ahead just a bit, then this thing is practically useless. But what if this thing would like try to match your movement speed, so that it's like the player always feels like it's like he's always in danger. Am I right? I think that's a great thing to do. Now this does look quite funny right now. Yeah, and obviously when you die, when you cross this, you just die. Is there anything related to programming that we can still do? I do have this talent tree, this very I'm not gonna go into talents, I think, right now. I'm just not gonna go into talents. I mean, we do have 4 to-dos, which would be 4 streams. Is there anything in the other boss fights that we can do? Like, I don't want to write down like those hypothetical things, right? Like, add more puzzles. That doesn't really make sense, because the next time I'm looking at this to do, I have no idea what that actually means, or what I want, or what I'm supposed to do. So if I want to make a new puzzle, then I'd better know exactly what kind of puzzle. I actually know, like, I know a puzzle that we can do. This is kind of like Hypixel Skyblock of Dodge 7, if you ever played that, but the reversed variant of it. So at the end of Goldor, you also have to do at the end of each phase of Goldor, you have to activate levers. That's it. You activate them by doing lava jumps. You know, you go into the lava, you get boost it upwards, and then you click the lever, and that's it. Very simple. It's not a puzzle, really, right? It's just a thing to keep the mind busy. What if we make this, but like this is underwater themed? So you have to, maybe something where you have to actually drown or like go against a current, swim against a current to like then hit something. Like a constant force is being applied to you. Or like you have to swim down or something like that. But it's very hard to communicate how this should be done. Right. Well, I'm not quite sure how we can do the what kind of puzzles we should do yet. So I'm just gonna keep that for now. Okay, I have another to do for the first one. I want the first one, maybe the first one, so you cannot kill him in one phase. Make first phase not one-shotable. One-shotable. Shotable. I guess that's those are good goals. So yeah. I think actually that's it for me. I actually think that it's it. This is like obviously the very first stream, just to test out a few things. Yeah, and I hope we get to do this every single day now. At least that's the goal. So yeah. Thank you for watching the stream, even if you didn't type anything or just lurked and have no intention of staying or anything. I'll still thank you for being here. And yeah, we'll see us tomorrow. Bye bye.